Welcome, everyone. Today, I'd like you to meet Darius Santos, the co-founder of Dubb. Darius, welcome to the call.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm extremely honored to be here today and to talk with you guys.
I've known about Dubb for a couple years. I have a Dubb account. Uh, I really like what you guys are doing, but I've never asked you, where'd you come up with the name Dubb?
Yeah, so it was a couple things, right? We wanted the shortest domain possible that was not going to cost us $1 million, and we wanted it to be related to what we were doing, something video related. And so that was the combination of the shortest domain and the closest thing we could get to what we wanted to say for video, because that's what we're doing. Is dubbing is when you're adding the human sort of the American or the English or whatever subtext to a video or like a movie. And so we like, well, it's close enough. We're adding the human back to text messaging. We're adding, human communication. But so it's not perfect fit, but we're the closest we could come up with to a four-letter domain that wasn't $1 million that had to do with video.
No, I love it. I
So,
love it. And I did a lot of
yep.
research to find you guys in the first place before I bought my Dubb account. But can you tell us a little
Right.
bit more about Dubb and how you guys got started?
Yeah. So actually, a little over 5 years ago now, I was sort of always a serial entrepreneur. Actually had my real estate license at that time. The other co-founder, Ruben, also sort of a serial entrepreneur. He was actually had a job at that time. He was a executive at a sort of marketing firm, and so he was knee deep in marketing tech, and I was knee deep in sales and trying to grow these other businesses. And when we met, he was like, you know what, I have this concept. I know video is the future and we want to do this. And I was like, I believe in this thought. I believe in this process. Let's see what we can come up with. And ton of research, ton of networking and building. And then 5 years later, that's where we were. So yeah, we were both just in a spot where we needed to utilize our entrepreneurial skills. We had to flex those muscles, get that creative juices going. And it was a calling I think we both needed to answer.
Well, we've talked about how Dubb is video, but someone who's not familiar with it, what's the biggest problems that it solves?
The biggest problem that we're solving is in this world where salespeople are having to increase their number of activities, marketers are having to increase the number of touch points that a lead gets. And through across all of these touch points and across all these messages, there ends up being a lot of noise. There ends up being a lot of unnecessary communications, or people are flooded, inundated with too much information. And so what we realized is we needed a way to punch through that noise, to do something different, something that was instantly going to capture the attention of a prospect or a lead, something that was going to make a better impression that shows that, look, I've done my homework, I'm above and beyond the competition that I'm facing. And we needed a way to do that efficiently and easily. And we ended up finding that video was one of the most powerful ways to do that, because when people are communicating with plain text and there's everyone else that has a plain text, what's one way to instantly separate yourself from that, to differentiate from that? And that's with the power of video. So the number one use case people are solving is getting more engagement. A lack of responses, a lack of replies, a lack of engagement on their outbound or messaging. That's the number one problem that people are solving with Dubb, is increase engagement.
Right, because it's also, I think, with the thing with the casual video is that you start to feel like you know the person. And then when you meet them for real, there's just something more there, than text.
You got it. One of my favorite things, in fact, is we've all written a lot of emails, and no one's ever responded to an email, a text email, and said, "Wow, this is amazing. Thanks so much for this email. You're such an eloquent writer." Right? No one's ever written that. The best I've gotten was, "I'm stealing this." Like, okay. And then, but when you communicate with video, the response is just 100% different. People are going to say, "Wow, this was so cool. I've never seen something like this. Thanks for taking the time to do this for me. This was really impressed. I was really impressed with your outreach," because again, it's vastly different than the same exact thing that everybody else is doing. And that's really what it does. It creates a very powerful first impression that you won't get responses from plain text.
Right. And, we're going to show everybody how it works and what it does. But for everybody who's listening, can you tell everybody there are other video programs out there? What makes Dubb different?
Right. What makes us different is first, I think it's our the founders. Our goal and our mission is to continually innovate and push the boundaries on what's possible, what's useful, what's helpful. And I think by that, there's been a couple other video sort of messaging companies been around for a while. Yet, even though we had a later start, we have surpassed them in terms of technology and functionality. We've built out so many really powerful features that really make the software easier to use, easier to record, easier to share, but that nobody else still has. So I think that's one of the lead differentiations is our leadership and our technology itself. We're continuing to invest and innovate at a pace that has put us well beyond what our competitors are doing. And there's some really cool technology here that makes life very easy when we're talking about video.
Well, can the thing that I like about it is when I was researching video programs, there's people that one good skill is making it simple. Like you can use it immediately out of the box. It's simple and easy to use. And then there's like all the things you want to do with it. And what I've
Right.
found with Dubb is literally if somebody's doing it, you guys add it. Like it is the most functional tool I have seen. And you can
Yep.
imagine somebody who has a lot of clients that wants to connect with them. And in the franchise industry, we're looking to connect with people looking to make a purchase between 100,000 to $1 million, and you're trying to connect with
Right.
them. You're trying to stand out in that inbox. And I just see this as a great tool. Do you have any success stories that you can share of companies that have used this type of service and it's made a difference for them?
Absolutely. In fact, we have case studies, which I'll show in images, dubb.com/case dash studies and dubb.com/testimonials. And I would say that the biggest success stories that we've had are those with the largest deal sizes because their messages are fewer and more important than the ones with, like direct to consumer, where we're trying to communicate with a million people at a time. And this is where those biggest success stories are had because that's where that impression's made. That's where we've taken this cold lead for $100,000 opportunity and now converted them into an appointment. And so one of our case studies, actually one of our franchise specific clients, that's where their success was it's a sales driven organization is where people have the greatest success with using video because their goal is to drive sales ultimately, and that's where people are having the most success with using the product. Marketing and sales too have also sort of gone more hand in hand over the years, where they used to be very discrepant in different teams and stuff, but now those two really need to play nicely together in any organization to fill the pipelines and keep the wheels turning. And so that's again where people have had success in both the sales and marketing. And franchise specific, sales driven franchise organizations have had the greatest success with us because that's their bread and butter is reaching out, prospecting, and business development, and we've had the most success with them.
Mhm. And I would say, you know, can the franchise organizations just use this on day one for creating content and contacting people?
I would say it depends on two things. Yes, first and foremost, it's you can come in, plug it. You don't even need a credit card. Essentially, you could start sending videos to people with nothing day one. However, I would say that there is just like when you're making a cold call, right? There's a certain level of skill or a certain amount of setup. There's a certain thing you can do to make those things better or more effective. Like right now, you
Mm,
can send an email to anybody, but if you don't know how to copyright, you don't know how to write a good subject, you don't know how
mm,
to make a good email, the chances of that email succeeding are maybe a little less. And this is where our team actually comes in is providing the industry leading expert in using video for sales because this has been our focus for 5 years. It wasn't only video marketing like some of our competitors. And because of that, we've had our nose in the books with coaches and consultants and sales leaders really determining the strategies and stuff that are the most effective. And I would say that's where it comes in is yes, day one, you can pick it up just like you could pick up a phone or an email, very possible. But when you want to really take it to the highest degree of success, that's where the organization comes in. And that's where we're providing training that we really pride ourselves on because A, it's complementary with our service, and B, it's hosted every single weekday. It's like we do as much trainings as possible here because we are really big on the fact that it's just like a cold call or writing an email. It's a sales skill, and once you develop that muscle, you've now given yourself an ability to feed yourself ongoing, right? It's a skill that transfers much better because cold calls one to one, no matter what. A video that can be used to communicate with 1,000 people across the world at one time while you're asleep on the weekend on vacation. So it's a skill
Mm.
that really enables you to expand your business once you've developed it.
Yeah, and part of the reason I asked you that is because, um, you know, we understand that you can just send something and get a very low engagement, very low conversion rate, but with the right onboarding and setup help, you get it up and running. But with that extra conversion and engagement ideas or templates, that's what really makes things move. And I know that I talked with you about
Right.
taking people who are interested in Dubb and want to sign up, that we would come back and do a specific engagement and conversion webinar just for those people so that they can maximize it and learn what you guys have learned. And I don't know how many videos that people have sent using Dubb, but it is
Millions.
a
Yeah,
massive amount. And there's a lot
correct.
of intelligence and stuff that you guys have picked up and learned that I think everybody could benefit from, for sure.
Absolutely. And that process that you described there, yeah, we can come, it's ready to go, but also when you have that little consultative approach, or a consultation, essentially understanding what your use cases are, what your best practices are, what your technology is, that's where these two things come together in the best way possible, because our expertise is going to be blended with whatever stuff you're doing, right? The technology, the email tools, social media, phone calls, right? Whatever your current strategy and methodologies are, we're going to meet you where you work and make sure that those two are bridged and set together effectively. So
And
the other
you,
part of this, though, is we do have off the shelf, we do have things that are ready to support as part of our FranPro offer, or as part of this part. We'll need to edit that. As part of this partnership, we do have pre-built workflows and some templates and even some scripts that we can populate into people's accounts that are essentially ready to go. Maybe just replace company name, or my name, things like that. So there's some placeholders, templates, if you will, that are ready to go according to some best practices and learnings that we've had along the way.
yeah, because I remember, what did you call that? Cold to gold or something like that?
Yeah, kind of a cold to gold. Yeah. So it's a cold email is one of the most effective ways for building a business right now. You have advertising, you have cold calling, you have cold email, cold direct mail, or whatever. But cold email is one of the most effective methods in terms of ROI, because it's very inexpensive compared to other methods. And so, yeah, cold to gold, gold meaning, fortunes in the follow up. That's where you make your money. So, yeah, cold to gold is taking from somebody from a cold space and bringing them to a warm place where we're ready to do business.
Almost sounds like cold to sold.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
exactly.
so and with Dubb, you guys not only is it a communication tool, but it's really almost a full service follow up engine. That's what I kind of liked about it, is for some people you
Yep.
could even eliminate the whole normal email process because Dubb itself is an email engine backed with video. So
You got it. Yeah, no, it is an entire CRM and marketing automation platform. And so people have either integrated it with their existing stack, right? They have a Salesforce or Marketo or HubSpot, Infusionsoft, right? Any of those systems, it's going to perfectly plug into. And then we've had a lot of small businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of even medium-sized businesses that say, hey, I don't want to pay $200 a seat for Salesforce or whatever. I just need this CRM right now. And so we've been able to fulfill that need as well, because we've continued to invest in our technology. All the core strategies and technologies that someone would need to essentially launch or grow a business are built in: email marketing automation, text message marketing automation, full CRM, and more. Got it.
yeah. Well, if somebody has like let's say a broker organization where we have, like myself, I'm a franchise broker, but if we have like a broker organization where we have hundreds of brokers under us, or you're a franchisor and you're trying to make tools available to your local franchisees. So I'm a franchisor, I have 1,000 franchisees. I want a system to where my franchisees can start utilizing this and taking advantage of this right away. Are you able to have the franchisor create those templates, maybe even in collusion with you guys to figure out what those
Yep.
templates should be, and then they can make those available to the franchisees so that they can kind of have better control on making sure that people have good, solid marketing messages just ready to go.
Absolutely. This is what we call our franchise or agency model, where you have a parent account, if you will, and you're able to create all the templates and instances, of course, with our help as well. We're happy to provide things like video script and strategy, how long these should be, how they should be put together. And that's all part of that as well. So yes, absolutely.
I think that's key because as a franchisor, as a franchisee, you're like, well, I don't have it figured out. So hopefully these guys can just set it up for me. And so the fact that
Right.
the companies can set it up and you can just go in there and you have, all these things stacked up and ready to go. You just need to tweak them. It's just brilliant.
That's correct. And so we even have some global organizations that will have different regions and things like that, and they can share and develop content specifically for those individual teams or share it throughout the entire organization. But that's exactly what that model was built for both agency and franchise.
So can the parent company then see the conversion and stuff and the effectiveness numbers from the individual sub accounts and then replicate those across the system so they're always learning and always perfecting?
You got it. In fact, there's a couple of tools here, including an AI assistant we have where it's not only going to analyze all of the efficacy of the videos themselves, the emails, the text, open rates, click rates, watch rates, view rates, but it's also going to analyze the voice of the speaker themselves. And so
Hmm.
if we have maybe a top producer on our team, there's an AI assistant that's actually analyzing what they're saying, and it's going to give you feedback based on their speed, their cadence, their empathy, their tone. All those things are going to be analyzed by the AI. And so we can measure performance like opens, clicks, closes, right? And back that to how the person's communicating. So we can easily from one dashboard see who the top performers are, what's their communication style, and how we can iterate this across other team members. And like, hey, we can take John here. John has this communication style. He has the best rates, open rates, and click rates that we have. Let's take a page from John's book and teach others this. So
That's
exactly
incredible.
that is why we built all the reporting with the AI assistant to sort of keep it all grouped together in one.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, what I would say is I'd like everybody, we're going to go ahead and go into Dubb and check it out. And so if you do want to register for the engagement and conversion webinar and training we're doing and everything that we're setting up for the franchisors and brokers, you will want to go through this specific link and it's next to the video. And it is franpro.com/Dubb, Dubb. And we're going to go ahead and go there now. You can click it and you can join us. And Darius is going to walk us through.
So this is going to be that first link that you see once you've clicked the FranPro link. All it's asking you to do is essentially sign up here. So we can enter an email. I'm going to enter my work email here. Plus. So just enter your business email, whichever email you're going to be using. Make sure you agree to the terms, and then it will ask for some basic information like that. The username isn't visible, so don't worry about that. Password does need to be at least 8 special characters with a thing, and this is a enterprise grade security. So any of the securities guys stuff you see is because it's absolutely secure. We take security very seriously, and so we'll have FranPro here on the list. It's not there yet, but it will be next. And once you register, we can include some company information. This would potentially be the name of your company. And then if you have a URL, just make sure you include the full website, https:// all that, backslash, not splash. And then if you want to here, you can choose company size, industry, and even the software you use, because when you select the software, we're going to make a recommendation based off of what you're already using and how these two tools can integrate together. So Salesforce or HubSpot, whatever it is already. And if not, then just choose whichever you'd like. And then if it's none or other, then we go to other. And then finally, the last thing, you can put in a phone number if you want, and then it's going to ask you to invite team members. So if you have members of your team you'd like to invite, you can do so here. And now we're in the platform. So the first thing it's going to do is ask us to allow access to the camera so we can immediately look at the recording. So I know you had a question, can we start recording? It's yes, that's the first thing we put you out to is the recorder. And then here you're going to see some of the basic recording options as well as some of the more advanced. Teleprompter, this is going to be really big. We can actually preload scripts into users' accounts so that they can read from the script while they're recording. You have your background features in case you want to use a virtual or blur your background, even an option. You can mirror it, stuff like that. So those are all options. And then this is only the first piece here. There's so much more to this platform, including the ability to record your screen. So this is the second button where instead of just recording my video of myself, I can also record a video of my screen. So any type of video you want to record, a video of yourself, a video of your screen plus yourself, a video from your mobile device, from your webcam, all of those things are possible. You can see here there's some annotation tools and things like that to make the recording more interesting, more dynamic. The concept here is to make recording videos as easy as possible with a teleprompter, with pausing, with built-in editing features. So this is the front end of the tool, and I challenge you to find a place easier to record a video from either your computer or phone, because with all the things that we've added to it, I believe there's no way easier. Yeah, teleprompter, pausing, keyboard shortcuts, and it's all just one click away. So this is all it takes to get into this first step into the Dubb account. And then from there, we're going to be hosting our specific trainings, and we're also going to be providing one-to-ones as well. So we provide a one-on-one support for all of our accounts, as well as group trainings every single weekday. So training is part 2 of this once you're in. Let me just show one other thing really quick. When you record a video, this is the second part of Dubb, is it's going to build a whole website for every single video that's optimized for your business. So whatever goals that you're after, are you trying to have people book meetings, download attachments, fill out a form, give you a call? Any of those things, people can communicate directly from this video. They can press buttons to call or text or email. They can even send you a video, and they don't have to download or sign up or install anything. So this is really the second part of Dubb, is your videos are instantly packaged and customized based on your opportunity. And this again is where the consultation is going to make a difference, because we're going to meet with you and determine what are the actions that are going to help grow your business. Do you have calendars, links, Zoom registrations, whatever those are? We're going to build all this out with you and for you so that your videos have the highest chance to succeed in your business.
Right. And
And
that's
then the
the
last
thing,
piece,
Darius, I want to
sorry,
share with these guys is that all this
yeah,
is customizable. And, they create these templates
100%.
that are 100% customizable to them. And you can have those follow-up videos, all those call to actions and everything. That's one of the things I was just so impressed with. And then I didn't even realize the extent of all the support. I wasn't taking advantage of it like I could, but didn't realize the full
Yep,
extent of the one-on-one and ongoing support. It's amazing. So I'll let you finish that.
absolutely.
Uh,
Yep. So second part here is the pages and the support that comes along with it, because we want you guys to have that resource to connect with somebody one-on-one that knows exactly what types of pages are working well based on what you have in your business. Now, the other part of this is sharing these videos. So when you've created a video and it's put out on this perfect website for you, ready to go, we're ready to also share these. And so again, depending on the technologies you're using, there's direct integrations inside of Gmail, Outlook, all the major CRMs. So it sort of looks like this here, where if I'm inside of Outlook or Gmail or LinkedIn or Salesforce or HubSpot or any of these platforms, there's actually a little button built right inside of that tool. And when I want to share a video through that tool, that's all I have to do is click on the button and instantly share that message. So this is that third piece, which is actually allowing these videos to not only be recorded, but to be shared, probably easier than you could type an email. And it's going to be that much more impressive. So the full thing that the Dubb platform does is creates the videos, packages them up for you professionally, and then allows you to distribute them instantly with tracking and everything through all the technology that you are already using. So that's it.
well, yeah, and I was just thinking you have full metrics and everything, and what we've talked about is making a video, but this platform actually has the ability to create sequences and everything and track it for you. I love the dashboard right here out of the beginning, but if you look,
Yep.
there's a CRM, and SMS and email. Like it's
Yeah, we built Chat GPT right into the platform as well. So the AI writing assistant is built directly in there to help you write blogs or emails or subjects or social posts. There's also that built-in bulk outreach where you can send one video or non-video email to thousands of people at a time. This can be a bulk email or a bulk text message. And then the benefit of this is intelligence on your reporting beyond anything else we've seen before. So email gives you if it was opened, if it was clicked. But now we get to see specifically who watched, what percentage, how many times, which buttons did they click. Any engagement on a video is actually tracked in real time. So as it's happening, you and your sales team are being notified on mobile, on desktop. So and so is clicking your video. They're watching. They're doing something. So full intelligence on your communications. And then the last part of that is in addition to a bulk send, as you mentioned, there's also automatic sending. So we can actually build out a full sequence or series of emails and text messages and other activities to happen automatically based on whatever rules that we want. And this is sort of what I was mentioning. And you can kick it off day one, but like this is a way to get the best results possible, right? Fortunes in the follow up, we mentioned that. You run out of the energy or bandwidth to chase people down. And that's where things like automation really come in. So you're tired of chasing this lead. Let's put them into a workflow where it does the chasing for you. You know, it's going to send these emails and text messages automatically based on the rules that you've designated here. And so this is what I also mentioned, a little bit more setup for something like this, but in the end, the result is going to be far greater than just sending those one messages and moving on.
right. And if the videos, I mean, you're not saying a specific person's name, so it feels personalized, but you can follow up with someone for a year. And it just feels like,
Exactly.
it's an automatic sequence that's going out and just using those sequences. So
This
definitely,
is actually what it's going to look like as well when a video is shared to multiple people. It can actually have their name on it, just like this video for first dot name. And instead of their first name, it'll actually say their name. And so that's very scalable to make a video look and feel a little bit more personal than it might otherwise.
very nice.
So yeah, all of the tech is there to help these videos be scaled across any organization, any number of videos, whether it's automatic or one-to-one or a combination. We recommend both.
Well, what do you see as the typical startup time? I know you can shoot a video in minutes, but with people really utilizing the system, we don't want them just to get started, but to actually utilize it to where it's working well for them. What's the typical time?
Right. I would say it depends on the team size. The larger the team, sometimes the longer the setup, like a couple of days at most, because it is one meeting. Like for a larger team of 10 or more people or something,
Hmm.
we'd meet with their admin and leadership and determine what those sequences need to be, what their shortcuts are, what their technology is. And then we provide the end user training where they're just shown specifically how to record, how to send, how to track using the stuff that they're using. So if it's without the automation, without the series of emails, like one day, right? We meet in one meeting, determine what everything needs to be, build it all, schedule the end users, and it's ready to go. So like one training day. If it's the sequences, that can sometimes take a little bit longer because depending on what they're trying to accomplish with that sequence or that series of emails, we can take our starting point, our cold to sold, cold to gold sort of one, or we could if we needed to create that from scratch, that's the only thing that's perhaps more time consuming is creating a new series from scratch.
Well, I know with tech,
Other than that, day.
well, I was
Yeah,
going to
sorry,
say,
go
I
ahead.
know with tech that the thing, so I love the idea of tech and I love using it, but it's the initial learning curve. So
Yeah, yeah,
I'm very impressed with your guys' support. Can you guys walk through, the getting started training and the availability of support that you guys give
absolutely.
people?
This is something I'm extremely proud of, because I like to sell software the same way I would want to buy something. And I pride myself on having the best customer service that we can. And so here's a couple of those elements, what that consists of. One is I'm actually on the dashboard here. This is a live training link. So it says meet live. That's every single weekday at 10 a.m. Pacific. It's an Ask Me Anything hour with myself. I sometimes have a sub, but he's just as knowledgeable. So we'll have an Ask Me Anything hour live training session every single weekday where anyone can join and get support, talk strategy, implementation, integration, whatever that is. So that's available every single weekday at 10. And then we also have this little button right here. Many people probably recognize Intercom. And this time right here, under 10 minutes, that's not controlled by us. We didn't set that timer. That is a reputation that we've earned through Intercom by answering these tickets so quickly that it says under 10 minutes is how fast you're going to get a human response. So if it's taking you more than 2 or 3 minutes to do something, it's probably not the right way. Come chat with us and we're going to help you get over whatever that you're dealing with. So instant answers, chat supports, humans are less than 10 minutes away, live training every single weekday. And as I mentioned before, for all of our subscribers, we're connecting on a one-to-one basis in sort of our Zoom, making sure that they're taken care of from the beginning. So they're not having to come kick tires or figure anything out for themselves. We want from the start them to have a 100% certainty of, okay, here's how I'm going to record, here's how I can send, here's how I can get results.
Well, and with teams, if you have somebody that has like a bunch of brokers or franchisees or sub accounts, you guys actually do a little
Yep.
stuff to help with the team setup too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know. So the team support is more robust than the individual support simply because there's more to deal with. Like as an admin, you have like this dashboard we're looking at right now where I can instantly pull that report of which users do I want, which group do I want, which types of videos, what's the date range of this report that I want to pull. So the admin training is also going to be included with the end users, but those are separate, right? We're not showing all the end users how to do the admin reporting and stuff like that. So that just by the nature of having an admin part of a team, the team training is going to be more robust than the individual onboarding. Yeah.
Was there anything people can do to speed up the process of going from just getting started to really maximizing this? Because that's what everybody wants is to get the videos rolling
Right.
and start having people engage and converting to sales.
You got it. I would say that the number one thing people can do to get started is jump into their demo or their optimization call as soon as possible, because that's what it's going to do right from the get go, right from the day one is say, okay, here's your next steps. So those are very, very clear and also designated based off of the discussion, not sort of just general, because there's some general tasks here for anyone to get started. And anyone can just log in and follow those tasks. It's going to say, get your extension, get your mobile app, set up your preset. It like some generic instructions for basically anyone. But I would say if you meet us in that one-on-one, in the live training, in a demo, in a sales call, in what's an optimization call, that would be the number one place to start because it's going to be very, very specific for you step by step versus sort of generic.
Mhm. And really, last question is
Talk to our team. Go ahead.
talk to the team. I'd just
Yep.
say is the last question is there any mistakes you see people making that hold them back so that people listening don't make that same mistake?
Yes. The number one mistake I think people make is they don't talk to anybody. They come in and they like, some people will buy something and they'll throw the directions away and say, no, I'll figure it out. And then they sort of struggle along the way to figure things out. Maybe they should have looked at the directions or asked for directions on the road or something like that. It's one of those situations where because it's a new technology to you, it's better to have a guided tour. Like we have so many available, whether it's an on-demand video or a chat support or a real person, there's lots of opportunities to sort of be guided along. But otherwise, sometimes people just come in and start clicking on stuff and they spend a lot of time trying to figure something out and then become frustrated because they weren't maybe doing it the right way. So I would say that's the number one mistake people make is they don't try to get any sort of like they throw the directions away essentially. Like if you just bought this nice fancy sports car and you don't know any of these buttons, any of this stuff on it, what do? You watch a video, read a tutorial, or do you just start pressing on stuff? I wouldn't start pressing on stuff. I would go look at my owner's manual and say, okay, I'm going to learn how to use this thing. But everyone's got a little bit different style. I just know because of the capabilities of the platform, it's more akin to that sports car with lots of bells and whistles on the dashboard. And you don't just start pressing stuff. What does this one do? What does this? Some people will do that. But I would say that might be a mistake in this case because it's maybe not the best use of time versus a 10-minute guided tour. And now all of a sudden, you know where everything is and how everything works.
Yeah, and I would tell people if there's some sort of thing that you don't see here that you want to see, I would definitely submit it as a request, because one of the things I'm most impressed of with Dubb is uh, if they don't have it, wait a week. You know, I asked
Right.
Darius a couple of things on, well, do you do this and do you do that? And he's like, no, not yet, but we're releasing it in 2 weeks. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
So,
And we're also huge on feature requests. That live training session, that's where I get to come speak to all of our users on a daily basis, and I hear what else is out there, what's coming up, what is something else someone has seen, what makes sense in this whole business development technology world, what can we continue to add and innovate, because if it's out there, and it makes sense in this context, right? If it's totally different, like a live meetings, we're not doing that yet because it's asynchronous meetings, but it's probably coming. So feature
well,
requests are big for us. Yes.
well, excellent. Well, Darius, I just want to thank you for being a resource in our industry and making things available to us. And I just want to tell everybody listening,
Absolutely.
um, you can go to the link next to the video or to franpro.com/Dubb, Dubb. And not only will that get you access to Dubb and you can sign up with a free account, but that's also a way that'll trigger you to be invited to the engagement and conversion training that we're about to do that's specific to our industry. And you can submit questions, and because I want to help everybody get access to this intelligence and knowledge too. So, and not just how to
Right.
use it, but how to ace it.
And that part of it I think is really important too. The fact that we are offering this free trial on this, because we know anyone that gets their hands on a couple of videos, gets those out to a couple of clients, they're going to receive responses that they've never received from plain text. And when people really use the tool, they have success. And so that's why we're like, look, try it for free, because it's like one of those things. You try it, you get success. We know it's going to continue to work for us both. So no risk.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Darius.
Appreciate you. Thank you.